help people.
I know.
So, where's your arc reactor? That's like the...
You know, they don't exactly hand those out. When I got back from Wakanda, I felt stuck. To bring my ideas to life, I need cash.
Come work for me.
Back to the accent of me, guys. It's Jock. Today, we're going to dive into Marvel's Ironheart episode number 1. Now, most of us have been waiting on this. This is the debut of Riri Williams in her own series, especially after seeing her in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, which I must say, I was impressed then, but to kind of see this taking place a little bit after that and how things are actually transpiring, for me, I was wondering, was it a fresh take on something from the MCU, or does it fall into the same traps as recent Marvel shows? So, with that being said, I wanted to break that down for you guys. Now, we take place in episode number 1, right? Let's just do it. Right off the bat, this episode throws us into like Riri's world. This is a freaking MIT genius. You know, the DIY engineer. And of course, Tony Stark's spiritual successor. And I think if you haven't been seeing the actual promo and things that Tony Stark has been doing, I've actually been saying that he's been promoting this. He's been at the front of this more than the MCU themselves. So for me, it was just trying to see how all of this was going to tie in. So Dominique Thorne, in my opinion, nails charisma. Like, she's witty, and we all understand that she's not Stark's like copycat. So for me, it was very surprising like how Marvel and Disney did this in this opener. So it was like, for me, I loved it. Everything about it, I loved it. And there were some good things about this for me. You know, for me, it was first it shows the strength, like her authenticity, her struggles that, for me, they felt so grounded. They felt like something that I have been through, from her balancing school, grief, this superhero level of expectations after everything that she's been through. You know, I think the suit scene, when you actually watch it, the suit scene was chef's kiss. When I tell you, like, it just showed how authentic, how brilliant this girl really is. You know, it was a raw feel that you probably got if you were an Iron Man fan. Like, if you were an Iron Man fan in the beginning, this originally gave you the exact same feeling. And I couldn't stop watching. Like, I you know, like, I think there was a big controversy online today when I was actually looking at everything, and I'm like, I wonder how this is actually going to go over with everyone. And there were some questionable things that definitely took place in this show as well. When we talk about, like, you know, let's be honest, the elephant in the room was the villain setup. So, and I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but the big bad guys, the intro felt, to me, it felt a little rushed. It felt rushed. It felt like we could have used a little bit more building up until we actually got to the big bad guy. But I won't say that it was something that I could go without. But it was definitely something where I was like, oh yeah, he's been introduced so fast. And I was like, And I know some of the Marvel things. I know if people have watched Loki and things like that. I didn't really like Loki. It didn't really do anything for me. And for me, when it comes to Marvel has been a little shaky with the TV antagonists. You know, like, especially like Secret Invasion, if we have to be honest. You know, so here I was hoping they would stick this landing a little bit better. Like, you have a better vibe. You got an understanding of where you need to go, what you need to do to actually get here. And I would say some of the dialogue veers into like the MCU. It was a little bit of overload. You know, everyone's a little sarcastic. We get it. Let's not really. Let's play into something bigger and better. And I think one thing that I wanted the MCU to do a little bit more in this one was I wanted them to play off the movies a little bit more. You know, I love the arcs that they build when they're actually making movies. I think it depends. Let me be honest, because I'm more of a Black Panther, Avengers, Iron Man type of fan. So I didn't see the Thunderbolts. I didn't think the Thunderbolts were going to be good. And yeah, let's move on from that. So there were some things that I definitely wanted to think about, like some theories, you know, and one of it is like, if you're a comics fan, you know, I think we all need to stay tuned, you know. I do think that there are definitely some deep cut references. So I'm thinking like, keep an eye on Riri's whiteboard for, you know, the tease, you know, for one of those Champions teas. And that mid-credit scene's game changer. My theory, it's setting up for Young Avengers, you know, and I think that's going to be something that we actually need to look out for. Because, you know, they always tie these things in. They always tie these things in. And if I'm just going off of episode number 1, I would say, because one thing I want to do is I want to review every single episode. I don't want to do these in bulks. I know they dropped 3 episodes, but I wanted to give Riri Williams and Ironheart a full review of each episode, because I think it's been met with so much backlash. So many people have been saying so many things about it. So many people are trying to sabotage it. And you guys know how I feel. Every review that I do, I always come into the whole game of like, let's see what's authentic. Let's see what it really is. Give an honest opinion. And I had some thoughts. So I would definitely say, if I had to go on the verdict, my final grade for episode 1 was definitely a solid 8 out of 10. You know, I think the Ironheart episode 1, it balances heart, humor, and action while it's carving out its own path to kind of let us build on what's actually happening. Of course, it's not flawless, but for me, it's very promising. So, especially if you're just craving like the phase 2 of the MCU vibe, now it's kind of one of those things that, are you more Team Riri or Team MCU needs a break? So I definitely want you guys to drop a comment down low. Did this really hit the mark for you for episode 1? I will be doing episode 2 and 3. I'll be uploading those shortly. But I want to know your honest opinions. Did this hit the mark for you? For me, it hit the mark. I'm Team Riri. And I'm not really a MCU... Again, like I said, like their series, I'm not really with it. With a lot of times that they do it, I don't really like how they build them. This one felt authentic. This one felt like they actually gave some time to think about the character, to think about what she was actually going to show. And maybe because it's not that whole, like, you know, Loki type of series. I would have loved to see Kang the Conqueror series, which they did go into a little bit of that we saw. But I would have loved to see Jonathan Majors actually come back, because it's like, I think everybody deserves a second chance. So that's the wrap. You know, that's a wrap for me, guys, for episode 1 of Ironheart. Be sure to turn on those notifications. Check out my other reviews coming soon. I'll be reviewing each episode individually. So again, smash that like if you're Team Riri, and drop a comment down low. What was your favorite part of episode 1? And I'll see you guys soon. All right? Nos vemos.